and welcome to Think Tech Thursday. My name is Ruth Kulaisi and I am excited to have you join us once again. Now this month we are looking at cybersecurity and cybersecurity implementation. One unmonitored moment or one unmonitored weakness can leave an organization exposed to cyber attack. Now, imagine if you had a 24-hour, 7 days a week, 365 days a year system that works to protect you and your organization from cyber attacks. I'm at District 30 today at the Spark Complex, where we will dive deep into how they come up with solutions and how they can protect you and your systems. Come join us. Dr. Wisely, thank you for having us again here at Spark Systems for Think Tech Thursday.
You're welcome.
I'm glad to be back, especially after our conversation last time and the great work, I'm calling it great work, the great work that you did in the demonstration when there was a white hack on one of Malawi's big banks. I don't know if I should say congratulations, but this follows that in terms of looking at cybersecurity implementation and the work that District 30 does across Africa. And I want us to focus on Security Operations Center, also known as SOC. Yeah. Now, if you could, in the simplest way, explain to us what SOC is.
Okay, I don't know how that would be the simplest or not, but in a simpler way, I would say it's a command center where we look at people, machines. It's a centralized area where we monitor organizations' IT equipment, the data, that means 24/7 we're monitoring those. Then we also go forward and do what we call analyze the logs. So these logs might come from different devices, and some of the people have got what we call a SIM, which is security information and event management system. So they throw into that. Then with these, we go also into incident response and threat hunting, because yes, you've got all these information that have come into your system. Like I said, it's a command center. So this information has come into the system. We go and look for threats. Out of that information, what are the threats? Then now, if you found the threats, how do you respond? So that's an instant response. So the SOC looks at all of these. So we monitoring 24/7. So it means you've got people that are literally there 24/7 monitoring the organization infrastructure. Then the moment you find something, as this data is coming in, you're analyzing them. As you find them, they also have to have your incident response. So it might be in the middle of the night, you found something, how do you respond? Mm-hmm. So that's a SOC in a nutshell.
Okay, so it's a 24-hour watchtower, command center, as you've put it, and an analysis space that when there's a flag of something which is abnormal or a threat that has come into the system, because there's a 24-hour team at work, you're able to be the first responders.
Exactly.
Okay. If you could quickly give us an example, some kind of case study that maybe we could look at. I mean, maybe let me ask, from the last hack that we did, has there been a response to say from the bank that we noticed that we've been hacked and maybe that it came back to you? How?
No.
Okay, so no.
So that's a common thing in most of the hacks. Most of the hacks actually, customers do not know that they've been hacked up until maybe someone that hacked them comes and say, I've got these gigabytes of data from your systems, pay me this money, otherwise I'm releasing this information. That's how most of the organizations are able now to know that they're hacked. It's common. Yeah, because most of them, they're not having this what we call a command center where you're able to monitor in terms of cybersecurity. We've seen organizations having what is called a NOC, which is the network operation center, which that one only goes around and monitors your network. So if you are a telecom, maybe somewhere else the network is down, people will not call you to say we are down because the network is down. They're able to monitor the network. I think it also to do with the regulator, because it also goes into the regulator saying the uptime of the network is this much. But on the cyber side, most organizations don't have the SOC. Most of them, at the end of the day, people that they even employ to be in the cyber, like their cyber expertise within the companies, you find that they're knocking off. But yet hackers out there, they're not waiting for you to wake up in the morning for them to attack your systems.
Playing, yeah, true.
Yeah, so it's a common thing. It's not something that is out of the ordinary. You try something on a system and the owners do not know, maybe years later if something bad happens, and now they're like,
wow,
so
years later.
Yes.
Okay, so this means a hacker can come into the system, be dormant, then come up to activate at some other time. Okay.
It depends on what is the reason why they are hacking your system. Yeah, there are some, for example, if it's a bank, there are some that would want to go in and get money. There are some that will just come in and be dormant. Then there are some that are just trying things. Can I try this? Is it working and all that? So it's possible way, especially the state actors, where they would go into some of the systems and just remain there up to the time where they would want to do something out of the systems.
When we talked a bit earlier, you shared an incident that happened in Pakistan, I believe. Maybe that could also be a great example for those that are joining us to kind of get an idea of when we're talking about first response and how far this hack went and how bad it almost became.
Yeah. So this is just one of the examples of the hacks that normally happens. Where someone, it's a simpler one, it's part of the social engineering, where someone now goes into a bank, send an instruction to another bank. So it's like this one is coming from the central bank in this country and send to another bank and say, can you transfer these funds to this person? So when you transfer funds, it goes through the approvals. So it goes through all the approvals up until the last one says, I want to confirm. So that call that you confirm, then only you discover that that guy is saying, I didn't send you that instruction. You go and check the email. Remember what we said in the last episode?
Yeah.
Where someone just adds a character at the end of the email. So if let's say it's a central bank in Malawi, it might appear as RBM1. So when you're checking, you don't pay that attention to that thing. So we've seen those type of hacks where they just fool you around and you're able to do a lot of stuff. And even in Malawi, I think at some point you might have heard about these people from Cyprus, where there are companies that really suffered and lost monies in here. Only that I think we haven't been good at documenting our issues. And by then we didn't have the likes of SET from Mac and all that. So some of these things, they just go. But we've seen where someone sends and say, now you can pay me. There were these hackers from Cyprus where you would go and so you've got a bank that you're supposed to pay a supplier.
Yes.
Then they will send an email and say, pay to this account. And it will come to some of the banks in here where they pay the monies from their accounts, and CFOs of companies, they would approve that and the monies go up. So we've had these scenarios in here. So as you having these issues, it's a common thing where it takes time for someone now to realize that, oh, we've been hacked. And we've had scenarios actually for us where we receive some calls maybe 2 a.m. and saying our systems are compromised. But actually, if someone is able to point at that time and say my systems are compromised, actually those are better than most, over 95% of the companies in here. Because most of them will not even understand or know that they are compromised up until
that makes me worry about the bank you hacked, because that tells me maybe their system is not as good and as safe, and for them to not be able to even notice that something has happened. But I think something that you actually shared with me earlier was that the issue may not even be that the teams are lagging, but they're more focused on the everyday runnings of the business, that cybersecurity issues take a backseat. Because normally we're not thinking we're going to get hacked.
Yeah, because most of the times, these situations, even if you go, number one, so for morale, is where we think, what would the hacker be doing in my systems? Okay, do I even have money for them to hack me? That's the first thing that you look at. So, but on the enterprise, you've got companies that it might be because of the regulator, it might be maybe they're part of other companies and they say, we need to have this part of the IT team that will be doing cybersecurity. But most of the times, their focus is not on people going to the systems, their focus is in the operational side of it, because that's what gives them bread and butter by the end of the day. So for them to be analyzing, when we talk about the rogues that are coming out of the systems, these are millions of rogues. Actually, one system, you might have thousands of rogues within a day.
So they have to manually check these logs, or do the cyber systems that the enterprise and the organizations have do this automatically? Yeah,
there are some that they do this automatically. Like I said, you might have the SIM, which corrects the rogues, analyze the events and put them out there.
Yes.
But you should be able to go beyond and look for threats. So you've got the information there.
Yes.
But what are you really looking for in that information? So you should be able to look and say, okay, yes, I've got this information. What threats am I looking at? And as you're looking for the threats, it should be real time. So
not having to come back.
Yes, you should not be coming back to check, did I have ABC?
Yes.
But real time, something is happening now, okay? Then an alert should be able to come up and say, we've got this an issue. Whether it's in the middle of the night or whatever, that alert has come up. So as you look at the alert that has come up, then already should have procedures of how do I respond. So for example, someone else, maybe there are two transactions happening. So someone else is showing that they're transacting from South Africa. Within 5 minutes, the same person, same account showing that transacting, they say, from Kenya. So already at that point, you should have those procedures where you say, if this happens, what do I do? Do I wait and allow this transaction to go? And maybe hope that tomorrow will reverse. What if that money goes forward? So you have those procedures and say, if this happens, maybe let me block, let me call the person and verify it them, then you move forward. So the SOC, we use that to analyze all this information that we're having, go for threat hunting, and do even the incident response. Yeah.
Okay, that already, when you were saying that, I'm guessing the issue is that, yes, there has been a log and the credentials are true, they're correct, which is why they're able to enter, but then the flag is now on the
behavior of,
yes. So normally, someone can enter the system, it will pass because it's right, but then you're able now to see, as you said with the analysis, that, okay, the abnormality is in maybe the like you said, South Africa, then next minute we're in India.
Exactly, because most of the times, most systems, people look at a hacker is coming from outside. So as you're coming in, maybe they are scanning your passwords. We've seen this in some of the customers where there are examples where the password are still admin, the default ones. So for example, admin, someone password. Okay, so most of the times we're there looking and saying, do we have the default passwords? So we're looking at someone that is coming from outside. What if this is someone that you've already given them access? So there are the likes of, for the bank, these people with the cards, some of the companies, we talk of the contractors, because we talk about when you have a system, the integrations, others are coming in. If I'm integrating to your system, you might give me part of the access already based on what I want. But at what point? Okay, so we've seen some of the hacking where people go in, you've given them access, but they've gone and checked more than they're supposed to do. Someone is in IT, he goes into your system, he's checking salaries for the bosses. So already you should be able to pick and say, no, this behavior pattern is not what access will give him.
Yes.
Someone is supposed, his shift is 5 a.m. to maybe 8 a.m. to maybe around 5. But the 2 a.m. is in the systems. And the thing that is doing in they don't make sense. So she'll be able to pick beyond username and password and look at the behavior. Is this something that is around in the system? So we flag those. That's why we say threat hunting within the logs.
Okay.
But the logs will be there. We'll say this person has come in. But are you able to analyze those logs and now say, okay, this one, I'll have to flag it and stop this action that is happening?
So that's where, I guess, as you've mentioned, we'll go back to the case of the Pakistan Central Bank, where there's the hack, and then with SOC, the opportunity comes in for quick, early first response. Exactly. And not waiting for a phone call at the end of the line. But the moment there's something that's been flagged, your team is then able to stop, hold.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the incident response. The incident has happened. So what do we do now? At that point, we can literally stop right there and now call the company and say, this thing is happening in your system. How do you want us to react? Do you want us to let it go? But at that point, we've stopped it already. Then you tell us, okay, no, this one is a normal thing. Maybe this person, tonight there is a crisis. We've asked him to come back to work. But at least we've broke some of the actions that are supposed to happen.
Most enterprise will invest. Well, as we're moving forward, there is an investment in cybersecurity. We're slowly building our teams to be able to look into something like that. Then someone, of course, is probably going, can't my IT guy handle this? I mean, they are the IT guy. What is so special about the work that you're doing? What are you adding to the teams? Or rather, what are you removing? What pressure are you removing from their teams when they do come to District 30 and say, okay, we would like SOC over our organizations and the work that we're doing?
Yeah, so normally, ideally, when you talk about the SOC, you're talking about the technology side as a start. So the hardware, the software of it. You're also talking about the human capital, people that will be able to monitor those 24/7.
Yeah.
You're also talking about people that have got skills to analyze what is coming out and also follow the governance. So this is the team that is specialized and only focused on what is happening there. So that's part of the difference. So if you decide maybe as a company and say, I'll create my own SOC, number one, you're looking at having your capital expenditure. That means you're buying all the things. You're also looking at having the skills to manage that SOC. Are you willing to invest in the skills? And most of the times, like I said, you'd find that you people that you are employing as the cybersecurity experts, they've got other things to do within your company.
Yes.
Why for us, this is the team that is dedicated 24/7, just looking at your cybersecurity posture, how you'll be protected. So as a company, the advantages, number one is you moving from the capital expenditure to operational expenditure. So this is something that maybe after a year, you decide maybe there are better tools coming up. So you decide, I'm dropping this, I'm buying these better tools. You literally drop and move on. You'll not be saying, what do I do with my hardware, my software that I've done already? In terms of the team, we already have a team. So it's something that for the companies, we bring out of advantage in terms of the skills, in terms of the investment that we've done already. And you move away from the CapEx into the operational expenditures of the company.
As we look at the demo, which I would like for us to now jump into, what exactly are we going to focus on the demo? I love the demos because last time, obviously, we got into a hack, a successful hack. And what are we going to experience today? What will SOC show us from District 30?
So, number one, remember when the hacker comes in, he doesn't announce themselves. So today we've set up a demo. We don't want to work with the live system for the customers. So with the demo, we've got two systems. So one is where someone has got their own firewalls. So a hack is coming into the firewall. So remember the people that will be coming from outside trying to come into your systems. So we put in two systems. There is one on the firewall itself. There is one on the web server. So as these things are being attacked, we should be able, so it means the moment they're being attacked, these systems already are having the rogues. But for us, we at this point, we're not going into the rogues as a start. We're showing you to say our SOC already is picking to say we've got, for example, if you had 2 arrays, it tells you at this point we've got 5 arrays. So you just click on the array, it tells you, okay, this is the system that has brought in array. What has happened in the system? You click on that, then tells you, okay, this person is trying to go into the system. It means now I'm not starting to go much into the code, as I need to react as fast as possible. So number one told me there is something that is happening here.
Yeah.
I go and check what is happening. Okay, so this is happening. Then you say, okay, how do I react here? Before even you go into the actual codes, you start coding now and say, okay, can I stop this? Then now you start going into the analysis, into now preventing to say next time someone else should not come into the system. Because now you've stopped it, but how do you make sure that that person doesn't come again with the same? So that's what we'll be demonstrating today.
I'm excited to see that. You and Ian will be taking us on for that demo. And yeah, because you said it's a first response. Yeah. I am sure that whatever it is that we will see will also be quick response, quick movement, which means this demo will probably be really short.
No, so it also depends on who we're working with, because there's a lot of things that are happening. So if this is, for example, C-level, CEOs and all that, all they need is, I've broke this, but how do we move forward?
Yes.
If this is a technical person, would want now to go into the actual technical issue to say, what rogue came here? How did we pick it up? And how have we analyzed going this side? So this demo can be as short as you want and as long as you want.
No, take us to class, because I know that it will benefit us to go beyond high level, but to actually go in the back and see what goes behind all of the I've blocked it, what's next. Let's see what you get to do there. So yes, let's get into it.
Okay, thank you. So welcome to District 30 Terminal. I'm with Ian today. We would want us to run through the demo on the SOC. Welcome, Ian.
Thank you.
The show is yours now.
All right. Again, let me introduce myself. I am Ian Kanje, a cybersecurity engineer with District 30, and our main offerings are cybersecurity services. So we're like, our main business model focuses on security operations in regards to the defensive side of security, such as the SOC demo I'm about to present, and the attacking side of security, such as with penetration testing and vulnerability assessments that we showcased last month. So today's demo is focusing on the defensive side, so that I can show you that security is not just about trying to break systems, but we also need to protect them. And one of our offerings at District 30 is the Security Operations Center, otherwise known as the SOC. So a SOC is a center that focuses on aggregating and consolidating log and information data from various sources in various infrastructure as well. An example can be, maybe you have firewalls and switches that collect lots of packet data, and then you send them to a SOC so that they are put together in a nice view, so that it's easier to manage and easier to find anomalies. But this is also the case for endpoint data, such as individual laptops and desktops, and also the same for software applications such as websites and various internal applications that an enterprise may host. In today's demo, I'm going to use Elastic as our SIM. The SIM will be the center of our SOC in today's demo. So this SIM basically works by deploying agents in various endpoints. So there will be standalone machines, whether they're servers or user endpoints, depends on you and the client and where you deploy them. But these agents, they're actually more than one type of agents. There's agents for different purposes. In my particular case, I'm going to work with two agents, one named Audit Beat and the other File Beat, where one focuses on collecting file information. It reads log data from files that an application may output. And secondly, audit beat, which focuses on system states and system calls and other process events that may happen within a system. So these agents that I'm talking about, I have installed on my host in the top left. So maybe for context, let me introduce, this is the same system that I was talking about, the one that will bring all the logs together and give me a view so that I can easily find anomalous behaviors. This, the machine on the left, will act as our host or the server, and in it I've hosted a simple web application that is running in Docker container, so that you can see that monitoring can happen even in the containerized applications. Just to show you, that my application is running, I'm going to run Docker PS. So this just shows the active containers in my machine, and my application is this one. And I can also show you the logs from Docker, so that you can see that when I make a web request to it, it will show the data. So I'm going to make a request from my other computer here, but if you watch the timestamps, the last one was 1437. I make a new one, and we should have an update. Yeah, I believe that's the 1447 one. So you can see that the web server does exist and it's live, and it's even showing that yes, the web request came to me from the agent curl, because I'm using curl, and an HTTP 200, so it was a success. So now, this is now to showcase the power of a SIEM. In a real environment, IT teams often have many things that they need to monitor simultaneously. There will be switches, there will be firewalls, there will be endpoints, there will be web applications. All of these things will generate tons and tons of logs, and it can become daunting and actually very difficult to sift through all these logs to find anomalous patterns, such as somebody has exploited your web application that is live. Somebody has unfortunately been attacked by ransomware, maybe not the entire enterprise system, but maybe just a few endpoints. So to find the actual data points, or to the actual data points that point to this compromise, it can be very difficult when you have lots of data coming at once. So the SIEM in this scenario will show us that we were able to define rules in our SIEM platform to look through all these logs and only give us the ones that we truly deem as important. And even from there, we can dig deeper into these alerts to actually find more logs that are correlating to the same event, so that we now have an easier way of determining what exactly happened. So it is very important in incident response, but also general compliance and audit management. So to trigger an alert, I have set up a couple of rules in my SIEM system to monitor my Docker container, as I pointed out to the left. But it's not going to monitor for every single log, as you have seen in this terminal. It's going to only look for logs that show that something has happened beyond its typical behavior. So when you're designing an application, you typically know that this application only need to be doing a certain set of activities, such as A, B, C, D. Maybe it's only going to read a database, and then from there, that has to do nothing else. So you can easily tell the SIEM that if this application does more than read the database, say it executes a command, or it tries to make a web request to another website, that is a red flag, and it should tell me on my SIEM. So in my case, I told it that if any other application other than PHP is executed, tell me. So it's going to be triggering, it's going to trigger an alert. So in my scenario, I'm going to run an exploit from my other machine, just to show you that an alert will be triggered. And you will see that I put a filter on my SIEM dashboard to only show the last 30 minutes events, but it can show up to an hour ago, and you will see that event logs are tracked in bounty. Like in a lot of event logs have been tracked before, such as 351, as you can see, but yet we still have no alert because the filter does not allow for the custom alert. So because we're going to run this event in very recently, I'm going to put the last 15 minutes so that we don't get bombarded by lots of data. And when I run, you should see on the left, remember our thing is logging every single thing, and we can see that lots of things are happening at once. But to you, this may look like normal requests because you just see that Intel or some Intel Mac, so somebody's MacBook has been sending post requests to our endpoint. And to a developer, that looks like a normal thing. You're like, yeah, because my application is also accessible to Mac machines. But you will note that so now you will see our SIM dashboard has refreshed, and it's able to show that 2 events have happened. First of all, web exploitation probing. So this rule was just set up such that it checks for a user visiting funny endpoints, so endpoints that are not typically accessible in the application. Because again, as I say, when you're defining a web application, you typically know that users have to go to A, B, C, D, and if they end up going to F, then you can easily flag that as anomalous. And the second one, unauthorized process execution. So it means that our exploit was able to execute another command inside the container beyond the PHP that I defined earlier. So that is anomalous behavior. But as a IT administrator, because the logs are plentiful, to you on these normal logs will look the same. You'll be like, it's a normal request. And actually you can tell that the thing has been exploited. The person has gained access to the backend, but you won't know unless you use a SIM. So we can drill deeper into the alert so that we find what exactly happened and maybe even find points of interest. So you see that again, it's just listed them in detail, that there are 2 events, a web application problem and unauthorized process execution. So if I inspect, okay, so you can see that it's able to show us the log in its pure form, because as an analyst, you want to be able to now make a conclusion on your own. As much as the software and the technology may help us gather conclusions faster, they are not 100% reliable, so you must also be able to look into it, and that's where the SOC analyst comes in, the expertise in the SOC environment. So we can come in and actually look at what exactly happened. Why is it saying web application probing? So if we drill deeper, you can see that on our agent there was detected incoming HTTP request matching Laravel automated exploitation vectors, and this actual request should have a path, this one. So you can see that okay, this is the request. So the requests are the same as the other ones that we're saying, but because it's able to detect and see that the requests actually came from this IP 195 to our machine via this endpoint, ignition, exec solution. As an analyst, you'll be able to tell that this is actually an endpoint that we did not define in our web application. So that means that something did happen. So this attacker was able to do something on this endpoint, and whatever they did caused our web application to behave unexpectedly. And then we can see unauthorized process elevation. It should show us that the process that executed on this other end was a shell, which is also known as bin.sh. And yeah, you can see here. Now it's showing that the web application executed a program that's beyond its scope, which is in this case is bin.sh. So this is just an instance of where a SIM system may come in handy, because now we're able to come to a conclusion that this web application is running and it should only be serving websites and only doing what it's designed to do, but it's done 2 things that are anomalous. Namely, it has executed a process, namely bin.sh, and it has visited an endpoint that we did not define in our routing table. So from that point, then we can start we can start responding to what has happened, because we also have timestamps that this happened just 5 minutes ago. So you're able, because an alert was triggered and immediately we were able to be notified because the dashboard was reflective almost immediately. It did not take an hour for us to respond to this current threat. We can be able to stop it immediately and go as far as going to a web application and resetting it. So you can kill it right now and then go. And that should reset everything that happened in our web server. But because we also had an IP from the logs that we were able to drill into, we can use this IP in our firewall that we set up on the bottom left and set up a rule to block that IP so that this attacker is not able to do anything else while we're still investigating and finding a way to mitigate whatever just happened. And we can also send an alert to the actual team on the ground in the environment that we're monitoring, telling them that this actually happened in your systems right now. So please start looking into it on how we can fix it and stop this from happening again. And that's, in a nutshell, is how a SIEM or a SOC environment will help an organization find anomalies in the environment.
Can you click on take action? So, like we're discussing with Ruth, where I was saying we're able to pinpoint the threats that are coming into the system. I think that's what Ian has also shown there. And we also able to take action. He's also shown how you're supposed to take action and say, okay, we've got a threat now, but okay, how do you resolve it? So the threat might be there. The issues have just happened. You're able to take action immediately and then move forward and discuss with the end user to say this is the direction that you're supposed to take. So in a nutshell, that's our SIEM from District 30. We offer a number of cybersecurity remediations and services. Anything else, I think, to go in details? I know our viewers for this, some are from the C-levels, some are from the technical side. So for the C-levels, I think most of the things we've covered. From the technical side, they might also want to start going to the actual codes and how we do these configurations. I think those conversations that can also be done as the demos direct to the customers based on your skill set. Thank you very much. That's it from me.
Dr. Wisely, job well done. Threat contained in less than a minute. And of course, business leaders across Africa continue to grow their businesses and transition into the digital space, making this a key issue to have, a key department and organization, obviously, to work with when we're talking about District 30. What is your final word to the business leaders across Africa?
I think for me, it's a question to say, you as business leaders, you've already invested a lot into your businesses, but who is monitoring your systems? Are you protected? If a hacker comes in today, are you okay? Mm-hmm. Are you able to react within seconds the way we've shown?
Yes.
If the answer is no, District 30, we've got a team of engineers that have implemented these systems, helping customers across Africa in a number of countries. So we should be the guys that should be talking to if you need this type of services.
Dr. Wisely, I thank you once again. Thank you to District 30 for the work that you're doing. Thank you to Spark for bringing us Think Tech Thursday, for showing us the tremendous work that Spark is doing, and also just the capabilities that we have as a country, and of course Spark and the services that you bring to the table. So thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, until next time, we'll be back with Think Tech Thursday. Dr. Wisely, myself, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.